G'day folks, welcome to another PTP fishing and another catch and cook. I don't do these terribly often, but this morning's the perfect opportunity to go and catch some squid and then show you how I like to cook them. So I'm in Port Vincent in South Australia. To say that the weather has been poor up until now, actually the weather's been fine, just the wind has been disgusting. So I have a window of opportunity this morning to get out here, catch a few squid, and then I'll show you how I like to cook them. So it's also it's my first opportunity to try these DUO Egimasa Squid jigs. So interesting to see how they go. They definitely look the goods. I'm looking forward to doing that, to testing those out or trying those out as well. So welcome to another PTP fishing. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's go and catch some squid. Okay, so I've just had a little bit of a run down the coast. Got to the spot. And I guess the way I go squidding here, especially when I'm by myself, a little bit different when you've got a bunch of people in the boat, is I just have a little sleeper squid jig just out the back. Doesn't need to be terribly far. Just pop that out there, sit that in the rod holder, and as we're drifting along, any squid that may see that, hopefully it'll just grab it. And then what I like to do is then actively fish the rest of the water. So at the moment I'm sitting in about 12 feet of water. I'm just going to test the area. So it's very much about figuring out where the squid are, what depth of water they are in any particular day, or any particular day this morning. But yeah, so I like to actively fish, hop my jig around. Got a bit of an interesting tide this morning. I don't think I've ever fished an outgoing tide for squid, but they'll be there. I've just got to find them. Anyway, jigs are in the water. That's the only way you're going to catch a squid. Oh, and we're on already. Oh, look at that. Oh, the sleeper jig has already picked up a squid by the look of it. Yes, it has. Only a little tacker, but hey, got to start somewhere. That's a pretty solid start to the morning. Oh, there's your first look at that Egimasa jig. Didn't take it long. Oh, didn't take it long to get a squid, did it? Anyway, I've just made a mess in the boat, but that's all right. We'll get that back out there. First squid is on the board. All right, solid start. Very solid start. So the key with drifting with these squid is I got that squid pretty much straight away, and got nothing when I was going in shallow. So I've come back out to a little bit deeper than where I started before, because obviously I got a squid straight away, and then we'll just drift along with the current and the wind. Again, it is a matter of finding that depth where there's concentrations of the squid. And the only way you're going to do that is just sort of zigzag in and out, let the wind and the current take you, and then take note of the depth when you're catching the squid. So that's what I'm doing now. Drift number 2. Oh no. Gotcha. You came back for it. Feels like a better one. It's pulling back a little bit. Now the key with squid is just to keep constant pressure on them. He's a little bit better than the first one. Look at his mate with him though. Oh wow. Now we need to get this guy in because he has a buddy with him. So we'll get him in the net. That's definitely a better one. Get that out of there. Sit that on the bait board for the moment because he had a buddy. We want to see if we can catch his buddy. Where's his buddy gone to? Alright, so that's 2 on board. The beauty of squid is they generally hunt in packs, so I am drifting quite quickly here, but that's all right. As you saw with that one, I had one on, he came off, and then I just let it sink back down and he was straight back onto it, so that's what we want. Certainly if you get them all that size, that's a great. There's another one. Yeah, not super huge, but that's okay. You get in there, you shoot your ink that way. Gives me a chance to show you these jigs. So I've just set up for another drift, but I thought I'd take a moment just to show you these squid jigs. So this is a DUO Egimasa Squid jig. They come in 2 sizes, a size 3 and a 3.5. This is the 3. You've got a lot of great colours. A lot of my squid fishing I base on the foil base of the jig, and generally it's the red foil base that I love, which is what that is, and that's the one that I'm using to as the sleeper jig out the back. But my extended family down here in South Australia insist that a white jig is a must down here in South Australia, and in fact I've had a few people in Victoria tell me exactly the same thing. So I've put on the clear foil white, not much to it, but that so far with the active fishing has got 3 or 4 squid already. They've absolutely walloped it, so yeah. If you're looking for a new squid jig at the right price, which these guys are, check out the DUO Egimasa range of squid jigs. There's one. Actually felt him pick it up. Didn't even need to hop it. Just felt him grab it. Doesn't feel huge. Doesn't have the big pulsing of a monster, but that's all right. They all taste good. That's the beauty of squid. Doesn't matter how big or small they are. They all taste the same. Put that net in behind him. You can ink in the water. Thank you very much. There you go. There's another one to the white jig. One more cast. I think I might go back to where I started all of these drifts. Bottom here doesn't look as good. I mean, what you're really looking for is sort of broken, weedy bottom. And there's not as much weed here as there was where I started. So do this cast, then we might head back to where I started, because as much as I've got a squid in this drift, I was getting more opportunities back where I started. Yep, there's one. Hey. It was definitely the right decision to come back up to where I started these drifts right at the start. Ooh. Now he's having a bit of a pull. What's going on? He says, I don't like what's going on here. He was coming to me to begin with. Have I got a better one? Hasn't come straight to the surface. He's a little bit better. Certainly not a tiny, tiny one. Oh no, he is definitely better. Oh, look at his mate behind him. So he's got a little buddy with him, but this guy here, that's a lovely squid. They're the ones we want. Perfect size, that one. Thought I felt something. Thought I felt something. Well, that's most probably the smallest one of the day so far. Come on, little fella. You get rid of your ink in there. Well, it's pretty good. I haven't even done 4 drifts and I've got half a dozen squid already, which is more than enough to do my little catch and cook. I'd like to get 3 or 4 more. Just gives me a little bit of squid for bait. Obviously enough to do this catch and cook. Then also, once everybody gets down here for Christmas, be nice to have some squid for them to eat when they first arrive. So that's the plan. Maybe another 3 or 4 more drifts in. Pick up a few more squid and then we'll head in, because this up and down is not a lot of fun. It's just the remnants of all this wind that we've had the last couple of days. That one didn't come back. There he is. So I got a whack right at the start of that retrieve. Have you got any buddies with you? Oh, look at this. I've just got him on the look at his, right on his little candle. Greedy little fella. You gonna come in? You are. Thank you. Oh, what the frig? Puh. Oh. So there's my haul of squid. I think I got 9 or 10, maybe 11 in the end. But yeah, it was starting to get a little bit too rough and not very comfortable out there for me. So these guys will now go on ice, or in the fridge. They've been on ice. In the fridge, let them cool down for an hour or so, and then I'll clean them. I find them much easier to clean when they've been in the fridge for an hour or so. And the next time you'll see me, we'll be in the kitchen. I'll show you how to cook this salt and pepper squid. So that was an interesting morning's fishing, wasn't it? So that was about roughly an hour and 40 minutes. So I did 6 drifts for 12 squid. Really happy with those Egimasa squid jigs. Super job. And I tell you what, white, I didn't think I'd ever use a white jig, but it worked a treat. So very, very happy with that. So it's now time to turn the fruits of my labour into some salt and pepper squid and have some dinner. So what I've done is I've cleaned the squid, 3 of them, not all 12, 3 of them, and even 3 of them is most probably too much. I've cut them up into pieces, rings, tentacles, done some fancy stuff as well, like the chefs do, and sort of put some scores and what have you into it. I've pat dried them, and now it's time to create the mix that I want to do that creates, I guess, the salt and pepper side of it. So what I've got is some corn flour. And you need a reasonable amount of it, just purely for the fact that everything needs to have a good coating. The other thing I have done to the squid is I have pre-salted it. So for whatever reason, the salt doesn't stick to it when you put it into the mix. I've now got ground white pepper. It helps if you actually open it up first, Peter. And I'm quite liberal with that. And then my twist on it is I love to put a little bit of chili powder into it. I only bought all of these today, so everything's got a lid on it. Now with the chili powder, you've got to be a little bit careful because a little bit goes a long way. So if you think you want to put a teaspoon in, put half a teaspoon in, which is what I'm going to do. So about that much. Pop that in. I will put a little bit more salt into here just to ensure that I have salt and pepper squid. And then you kind of mix that together until the corn flour and everything changes colour. So it should go, with the chili in there, it should go sort of a reddish colour. And then all I do after that is just make sure I dip my squid, get a nice liberal coating on it, put it into there. The whole idea of it is that you put a reasonable coating of corn flour on there. Hopefully there's enough salt and pepper, and in this case chili as well, to coat it and give it a little bit of flavour. Anyway, I've got a lot to do here, so I will get all of this done and come back to you shortly. So the key to doing this successfully is to do this in sort of reasonable size batches, not huge, not small. I've got fresh oil and a deep fryer that has a lid because the squid will spit. So the key is put a bunch in, drop it down, close the lid, let it cook. You don't want to cook it for too long. Anyway, let's get this started. First batch in. A nice solid batch. There we go. Good-o. Do that. Do that. Lid down. Let it sizzle away. As you can hear it popping away. Very, very important that you have that lid, otherwise you're going to have hot oil all over you. And that's the last thing you want to do. You want to enjoy the squid. You don't want to, you don't want to get hurt before you eat it. Just lifted those out. Lid. Oh, and they look mighty good. So there it is. Salt and pepper squid. Nice little green salad with a few cherry tomatoes and a few other odds and ends to go with it. Fresh squeeze of lemon straight over the top of it. Of course, you've got to have the obligatory beer to go with it. So let's do a quick taste test. Beauty calamari it's quite sweet. Salt obviously goes with anything seafood. Wow, that's really good. Have a set of tentacles here. Excuse the pigginess here. And that hint of chili really comes through. That's really, really nice. Well, the last thing you want to do is watch me eating my food. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget, like, subscribe, share. Help me grow the channel. I'll catch you next time from PTP Fishing. This is really good. See ya.